Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it, and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Datejust 41, reference 126301, a timepiece with a sensational and unusual application of contemporary two-tone. This is really an excellent latter-day update of the famed 80s and 90s two-tone treatment, specifically for 21st century tastes. Now, the watch itself debuted back at Baselworld 2016, the successor to the Datejust 2. The nominal size, 41mm, stays the same. You can see on my 16cm circumference wrist, it's exactly what the name promises, a Datejust and 41mm. It is a better proportioned watch, however, and it's never been a thin watch as the 41 or the Datejust 2. The watch only 11.7mm thick, it slides easily underneath the cuff. Lug-to-lug, this one is nicely manageable, 47.5mm. If you include the solid end links of the Oyster bracelet, then it's 51.3mm across the wrist, and you can see the spacing of the lugs is 21mm between the wrists. You can see everything that is attached is beautifully made. The spacing being 21mm, you could probably fit a strap on there, but why? When you have this factory Oyster bracelet. Now, it's true that the Datejust 41 brought back the option of a Jubilee bracelet, but if you want the sportiest look, and this watch is an uncommon combination of factors, you want the Oyster style bracelet. Polished centers, which regrettably include quite a bit of my finger oils right here, as well as satin finished flanks. You can see that outboard they are mirror polished, and the links are fixed by screws. There are big gaps on the underside to vent the wrist, and the reason you would want the Oyster as opposed to the Super Jubilee is structurally it's a bit more solid. It also has a much more massive and imposing look. It looks like a sports watch bracelet. Internally, you can see that the clasp is all of high polish. You have a beak and a hook system, so it actually latches and locks. You can hear it click shut. You can't pull it open. It's not a friction fit system. You must lift and unlock. It's a vertical trigger. Internally, there is an Easy Link 5mm quick adjustment system. You can see the Easy Link right there. It's the equivalent of adding or removing one sizable link from the bracelet. Pops into place, pops right out. You can fine tune. You can also see internally there are 3 different anchoring stations inside the clasp, so you can move the anchoring point of the bracelet and fine tune further without actually adding or removing any links. Straight through, you can see rose gold on the top, stainless steel, and it's important to speak for a moment about the rose gold and stainless steel used. Rolex makes its own steel and it makes its own gold. It's 904L steel, which is principally known for its highly anti-corrosive nature. It's the kind of steel that doesn't even need to be rinsed after exposure to seawater. And you can see that the rose gold is more like a red gold. Everose is the name, and the reason it is so red is because it has a high percentage of copper. The reason it is Everose is because it has a high percentage of platinum. Unlike conventional rose, pink, and red gold, it will not fade to a yellowish tone over time. Now, moving into the dial, you can see that it's an unusual piece, a sensational champagne treatment. It's between pink and silver, so it's much like the lately voguish salmon dial, albeit with a more striking sunburst grain. All applique rose gold indices, rose gold hands, rose gold 5-point Rolex coronet, 5-minute, or we should say 5-minute or 5-second Arabic numeral intervals outboard of the indices. The indices all loomed, hands at center are loomed, there will be a loom shot. Cyclops eye, which I find fits better on the 41mm watch than it does on the 36 or smaller. It seems more natural, it doesn't seem to dominate and monopolize the dial in the larger format. Twin lock crown, you can see the double dots of a gold twin lock crown. They all have their own specific signature. Underneath the satin and polished caseback, Rolex caliber 3235, 31 joules, automatic winding, very smooth, bidirectional action, 70-hour power reserve. Rolex Chronergy escapement with Liga etched components, very impressive stuff. Reprofiled mainspring and mainspring barrel to achieve that jump from 48 to 70 hours of power reserve. 28,800 vibrations per hour. You have the quick set function as well as the hacking seconds or stop seconds feature. You have a full balance bridge with a free sprung index for shock resistance. You have an overcoil hairspring to help the watch keep excellent time in any orientation on the wrist or on the dresser at night, so the watch is able to earn a COSC chronometer certification. There's also an overcoil alloy known as Parachrome Blue, which compounds the advantages of the overcoil. It's positionally stable and it's resistant to magnetism, that thanks to the niobium zirconium blue oxidized Parachrome alloy. Finally, important to note, Rolex gets the COSC certification on the bare movement, but since 2015 they have also cased up the movement and tested it to a standard of no worse than -2 + 2 seconds per day. That is the basis for the superlative chronometer script on the dial. So this timepiece, also water resistant down to 100 meters, is a full function sports watch, easily your only watch, and with a striking combination of a salmon sunburst champagne style dial, red gold accents on stainless steel. It also handsomely updates the time-tested two-tone treatment. A different steel gold Rolex. This is the 126301. Take a good look at that bezel, because it's going to be a long time before you see another Rolex gold bezel that isn't fluted. See this one and make it yours on the watch box. Rolex Datejust 41.